Our primary focus was a small, highly talented group of athletes, and we were able to sign our three swimmers and our one diver, and so we were excited about the class. It's a small class in number, but a very high quality class. So that was the goal. We have a small senior class going out, and so we're bringing in a small freshman class this year. Our first is Chelsie Miller from Houston, Texas. She swims for Fleet, and she's coached by Clayton Cagle. Interestingly enough, Clayton was the assistant coach at KU when I swam here. And so we go a long way back, and we've identified Chelsie early on in the process and have been recruiting her for a long time. And Chelsie had a breakout year this summer. She had a great meet at both senior and junior nationals at Stanford, and qualified in 3 events for the Olympic trials in June. And so she's coming in with a lot of accomplishment already, and we're real excited with her coming in because of Stephanie Payne graduating. She'll pretty much come in and do almost the same events as Stephanie, and maybe has a little bit more range in the distance freestyle, but Chelsea's going to come in and help us out right off the bat. Bryce Hind. Bryce, she is your prototypical diamond in the rough. She goes to Fort Scott High School. She swims for the Kansas City Blazers and is coached by Gardner Howland. And the interesting thing about Bryce is that she drives 80 miles one way to practice each day. And so during the school year, she doesn't do doubles. She does do weights, but only is able to swim once a day, and has accomplished a lot on that schedule. And this past summer, she was able to stay in Kansas City during the week and was able to do doubles and improved a tremendous amount. And at junior nationals, she made the C final and is just a couple tenths off of her Olympic trial cut, and is somebody who I think we'll see in Omaha. And she's a breaststroker, and I think will come in and improve a lot simply from the fact of having everything close by. I mean, we're talking walking to practice and not driving an hour and a half one way. So Bryce has a lot of upside, and real excited about getting the opportunity to work with her. Haley is, again, somebody we've been recruiting for a very long time. I remember seeing Haley when I first came here 10 years ago. She was an 8-year-old swimmer, and I've known her dad for years and been watching her come up through the ranks. And she's a very dynamic sprinter. She's primarily sprint free, but she does really well in sprint fly and sprint back. She's versatile. She's incredibly coachable, and she has a wonderful background not only in the water but also on dry land. She's incredibly gifted at lifting weights and doing the dryland training because that's her dad's background, and is very, very athletic. So we're really looking forward to working with her. She swims for the Topeka Swim Association and is coached by Paul Monroe, and Paul has done an incredible job of getting her ready for college, and she's going to be somebody that's going to get a lot faster. And again, somebody else that is really close to Olympic trial times, and she should be in Omaha as well. Both Haley and Bryce are the top 2 swimmers coming out of Kansas this year, and Chelsie was one of the top 10 recruits coming out of Texas. So I think this is definitely one of our higher quality classes, and we're excited to have the 3 swimmers and Meredith come in and help us out right away. She's been always one that we've been in communication a lot. We even became friends on Facebook, and it's she bleeds crimson and blue. I'll never forget coming up through and us sending emails and messages and things like that, and her always saying that I'm a Jayhawk at heart, and that did our heart well. But you know what? She was very highly recruited from a number of big schools like Louisville and Minnesota, and so she was sought after, and we were nervous, but I think our team and our assistant coach Jen Fox, who I have to mention, she heads up our recruiting efforts as our recruiting coordinator, did an awesome job, and Haley's a Jayhawk, so she's happy, her family's happy, and our program is very happy.
Yeah, well, we're real excited to have Meredith coming in next year. Meredith Brunel is from Union, Kentucky. She has competed at the Junior Nationals, and she's a very talented young lady that has a ton of potential. The training situation that she's in now, she trains at Miami University in Ohio, and they don't get a lot of board time, and they don't do any dryland training and spotting belts and trampoline and things like that. So I think that's one of the things that really drew her to the University of Kansas, is that we have a lot of very good training equipment. We use trampoline, dry board with spotting rigs. We have a great strength coach and weight program, along with our nutritionists and a lot of the support they get through academics, and also with sports psychology and that kind of stuff. So that was one of the things I think that really drew her to the University of Kansas. But I think with those kind of resources behind her, she's really going to take off once she gets here. I saw Meredith at diving competitions. That's basically where we see a lot of our stuff. Some kids send video. I was fortunate enough to be at meets where she was competing, so I got to watch her compete. And that tells you a lot, too, how tough somebody is mentally in competing. And she did a really nice job this summer diving. She has a lot. She's very strong. She's got a lot of strength. She's got really good board work. She can has good rhythm and timing. She's kind of tall for a diver, so she's got a real pretty line. She's quick. I just think adding all the other elements of our training into is really going to help her improve. She's a very smart young lady too. She does well in school, and that helps them. And most kids to grasp some of the concepts and techniques that we're trying to teach. So I see her really just, those are some of her strengths, being very smart and coachable, very dedicated to the sport and like to compete, and physically she's very strong and gifted that way. We had a fairly young team, especially last year. This year we have a sophomore and a junior, and we had another junior that, due to injury, is not diving anymore. But we try to carry 4 divers on the team. We don't always get up to that. Sometimes we've had more than that. But coming in next year, she's definitely going to be stepping into a role of a instant contributor and performer. She's going to be one of our best divers, even as a freshman coming in. She should be able to score very well in the dual meets. I see her doing very well in our Big 12 conference meet and also NCAAs. I think, if not in her first year, maybe by her second year, maybe even third, but she's going to have a shot at qualifying for NCAA nationals.